Hello, friends. I'm glad you're here with me today. I have my title up right away because I'm going to start with a couple announcements that are kind of a big deal. Make sure you know you're in the right place. You're in the right place. That's the title. But right away, I want to tell you that next week, I will not be doing a free live broadcast. I will be doing a mini workshop about how to teach high rock belt. A mini workshop is very short. It's $39. But if you put rock in the comments below, you'll get a link to the information page and also a promo code. So that'll save you some money even off of that already super cheap price. So that's what I'm doing next week instead of this free live. So I hope you can join me for that. Also, the week after that, I will be participating in the awesome Singer Summit. Now, I'm just going to assume you all have done this before or been to this before because it's such an amazing event. So the Singer Summit is a thing that is 3 days long. It is all these amazing people that are addressing the needs of singers. So financial needs, artistic needs, marketing needs, overall health needs, creativity needs. In 3 days, it's amazeballs and it's free. I mean, go figure. So I hope you can join us for that. I will be one of the speakers. Information is right there, singersummit.com. It is an amazing thing. Last year, I bought the package that let me watch the things later because I just couldn't be there for all 3 days. And they do offer to let you access the videos for a certain amount of time afterward, which I did, and I was really glad that I did it. Even that wasn't very expensive at all. So it's just an incredible value for all of us singers. I am going to tell you about some of the things that are important to your popular students because they won't tell you. And the reason they won't tell you is because they have never had to articulate it before. They assume that because you're smart and you're the teacher, that the things that are important to them are also important to you. And then they just assume that those things apply to all music and all musicians, including you. Also, and especially if you teach teenagers, they're certainly not going to correct you. Right? Instead, they will either figure out eventually that you don't understand what's important to them and they will quit, or they will accompany you along a path down which they do not want to go. A lot of times, voice professionals just teach lessons the way they teach lessons, right? It's our job. We do it all the time. And in doing that, we make assumptions that may not be serving the best interest of our singers. And this is especially true if you come from a classical background. The culture, the values, and the requirements in classical singing are unique to classical singing. But many of us learn them in a way that tells us that they are universal values. This can also be true if you are a working singer and you're coaching other singers, because you may never have been forced to get super conscious about the values that underlie the kind of teaching and singing you're doing, because again, they're part of your world. They're just the air you breathe. So we have these values and then we bring them into our voice studio. So knowing about these values can make us better teachers, and not knowing about them can sometimes cost us students. So stay with me while we talk about those values so that you can start noticing them. And once we're aware of them, we can see them everywhere. I'm Meredith Colby. I'm the author of Money Notes, How to Sing High, Loud, Healthy, and Forever, which introduces neurovocal, a way to teach popular styles using brain science. I'm a voice coach specializing in popular styles, and you can schedule directly with me from my website if you want private sessions. I also teach classes to voice professionals in neurovocal for popular styles, which gives voice teachers and coaches amazing tools to confidently teach popular styles in their own studio. I think I did that. I put that in her head, and now I put it in your head. Ha ha. See that? You could have that. I'm giving these out right now because I'm just finishing the spring class or the winter class. We're starting the summer class, which is the last class of the year. And actually, this will be the last version of the 9-week class. So get in on that now, especially right now, because this month we have early bird pricing. You'll save $200. And if you're on my mailing list, you even get an additional discount. So there's that if you're just that special. Go to the info page on my site, meredithcolby.com. There's even a button there to click for a free appointment with me, and we can figure out if this will be a good fit. Because you know what? I am painfully honest, and if I don't think it's going to be a good fit for you, I'll just say, excuse me, but I do need to share this little tidbit that Alex just put up on my site. It is an awesome class because Alex is a neurovocal certified teacher, and she's been using it a lot because she has a lot of pop students and music theater students. So she's been using it really effectively. Thanks for being here with me today or on the replay. Please contribute your thoughts as Alex is very generously doing. Questions, experiences, anything you want to share. I love to get your comments and questions during the broadcast, after the broadcast, whenever. Clicking hearts and thumbs helps me with Facebook, on YouTube, like and follow. It just helps. Your little gift to give content providers. That's all. I have 2 freebies today. One is an article about this very subject I'm talking about today called 3 Secrets About Pop Singers They Don't Tell You in College. And if you want that, put the word matters, MATTERS, in the comments, and the Neurovocal bot will send you a link to that. And the other thing I have is the information for the mini workshop, How to Teach High Rock Belt. And if you put rock in the comments, it will send you the link to that information page as well as a promo code for 35% off. I'm just giving it away today. So what matters most to your singers of popular styles? Today I'm going to give you a very cursory glimpse inside the mind of that singer by touching on these 3 important things for vocal coaches of popular styles. And I hope you will remember these things because they are a pretty big deal. The reason that this is a cursory, a flyover, is both because this needs to be short and because once you're aware of these things, they'll become more present to you. And you will notice the nuances in both in the music you listen to and in your clients. I'm going to start by talking about the function of the singer. When I talk about this particular subject of the values within popular music, this subject, which I do talk about, I always start here because although it is obvious once your attention is on it, it is something that is super important and many music educators overlook. In Western classical music, as well as in most music theater styles, the function of the singer is to be an interpreter of the composer's work. So depending on the specific genre or your director, the singer's license to interpret may be more or less defined. In any event, however, it is the composer who is the creative and the singer who is bringing that composer's intention to life. And that way of being in the performing arts represents a rather specific mindset. It's a way of approaching the performing arts through a particular lens. But in popular styles, this is seldom the case. And when I say seldom, I mean never. In almost every genre wherein the singer sings into a microphone in an amplified situation, the assumption of both the performing musicians and the audience is that it is the singer who is the creative. Either the singer has written the song themselves, or they are presenting a unique and personal interpretation of the work that they're sharing. To the average music listener, this distinction doesn't really matter. They don't really think about it. But to someone who teaches singers to sing, it matters a lot. It means that if you're trying to help someone sing well, you have to consistently look at what singing well means to you and whether or not your definition of singing well is going to serve the singer that's in front of you. Like, for instance, I currently have a singer-songwriter who loves Taylor Swift and she loves Billie Eilish. So her definition of singing well is going to be different than my client who is a children's music artist or my client who fronts a rock band. I believe that my job is to help them achieve efficient phonation, absolutely, and freedom to express their ideas. That's across the board. But even as I do this, I'm very conscious of reminding them that I'm never telling them that a single value is an aesthetic constant. You with me? So if I say we can do this or I want you to do this, I always say this isn't an always thing. This is and then I define it. I remind them that the exercises and the skill development that we're doing is a means to an end. So it's not, this is how you have to be singing. I constantly give voice to the fact that the end result should be a reflection of that individual's musical values, and that those values can change over time. That's the other thing. In popular styles, things change. So whether you're a teacher who sings in amplified situations yourself, or you are a classically trained singer, being aware of these things is crucial so that you don't inadvertently somehow communicate that your values are the correct values. So what matters most? One thing is being cognizant that the singer is the creator. with all the attendant experiments and processes and failures and exciting moments that a creator is going to experience. The second thing that matters most is a thing that pedagogues like to call tonal outcomes, which is fancy talk for the kind of sound we are helping our students make. Good singing is not necessarily good singing. The round vowels and generous vibrato that sounds fabulous and to die for in Western classical styles sounds really dumb in popular styles, not to put too fine a point on it. And I'm going to pause for a second here to remind you that if you would like a link to the article, 3 Secrets About Pop Singers That They Never Tell You, matter in the comments. And if you would like to get information about the upcoming mini workshop on how to teach high rock belt, put rock in the comments. You'll get a link to the info page and a code for 35% off the registration fee. If you're watching on YouTube, you can find those links in the video description below. On to number 2 of what matters most. If you are a vocal coach who is also a singer of popular styles, you are probably accustomed to the kinds of sounds that singers of pop and rock styles make. And if you are classically trained, those sounds will probably seem nasal and maybe ugly to you. But if you are teaching singers of popular styles, it's really important that you develop an ear for the aesthetics of popular styles, because the sounds are not the same. Last year, one of the teachers who took the neurovocal certification course told me that one of the things she enjoyed the most about the class was the permission that it gave her to appreciate other kinds of singing. So she had grown up listening to popular music and country music, but her undergraduate and graduate degrees were in classical styles. So she would listen to popular music and she would think about what the singer was doing wrong. Anyone? So now she's listening to popular music with an ear toward listening to just what the singer is doing. What are they doing? And how are they doing it? And how she incorporates those sonic and stylistic elements into her teaching. It's a lot more fun to do it that way. Not only will it help your students of popular styles, but it's more fun for you. And I'm all about you. Number 3, what matters most is communication. Another thing that matters to your singers of popular styles is your acknowledgement. You need to know what kind of world they live in and acknowledge that as a legitimate world. I'm not being dramatic. Their world does not use the same language, either written or verbal, as the world of highly trained musicians. Unless, of course, your client is a highly trained musician, in which case, never mind. But for most of us, for most singers, most of our clients, because we have never had to lay our fingers on our instruments, we are often lacking in music literacy. Now, if you have a college degree in music, or you've been a professional musician, you've been a professional teacher, you're probably fairly fluent in the written language of music because it's your job. But for us indie teachers, very few of our students are going to pursue music either professionally or at a level at which they need to be very fluent in all kinds of written music. Some of our students, for sure, but not the majority. And they also will not need to have that very high level of musical communication. So more commonly, our pop students sing in bands or they're singer-songwriters. So these students, these singers will benefit from being able to communicate musically in a way that is applicable to what they do, that will work in the water in which they swim. Every singer benefits from knowing about keys and song form. I will stand on my hill and I will say, every singer needs to know about song form and keys. A guitar strumming singer-songwriter will probably never need to read a melody line that's written on a staff. Instead, they will function in a world where chord symbols are written above lyrics. They will listen to the song before they play it in order to glean the rhythmic information and the feel for the song. Conversely, though, your client who loves to sing in a choir, for instance, and that knowing some fundamentals about how to read notes on a staff will definitely add to that person's enjoyment of their experience in the choir. It will add to their sense of competency in the choir. So that's another language. It's about knowing the world they live in and helping them feel competent and confident in that world. Different kinds of music call for different kinds of musical communication. And that's what that is. That's what I'm talking about, is the communication. Knowing and acknowledging the needs for the type of communication needed for the interests of each of our clients will make them feel seen and will help them enjoy their musical experience. And that matters a lot. The umbrella over all of this, their vocal mentor and guide, you, that you understand and honor that there's a difference in musical values and in musical needs for each person. Thank you for being here with me today. I'm Meredith Colby, and I hope you will join me next week. I will not be live, but I will be doing my pop rock, my mini workshop on how to teach high rock belt. Have a good week.